Hello and welcome to part 4 of ECE 5000 Electrical Engineering Design. Today we're going to be discussing the testing part of this project. So the main goals of this, what I'm going to show today, is how to download new games onto the emulator, as well as some gameplay of some of the new games I've downloaded. And finally, I'm just going to briefly go over the encasing of the Xbox controller and how the final design for that will look. So when we're loaded into the emulator, we can click the menu button, and we can go down to network settings. And we can connect to our internet. To do this, we have to turn it off and turn it back on again. This takes a second. And now we can see we're connected to the internet. We can now open up the Beta files on our laptop, and underneath the share folder, if we go down to the ROMs folder, this is where we can add game ROMs into the emulator such that we can play these games. So when you have your ROM for your game you want, you're going to double click on it. And you're going to extract it. Extract. You're then going to copy these ROMs into this will be the PlayStation X folder. And then this will download. Once the file is successfully downloaded, we can go to the main menu again in Beta, scroll up to game settings. Update game lists. Click yes. And then it'll reload everything. Now if we scroll over to PlayStation, where it was downloaded, you can see there's 2 games, as I've already had one downloaded. Click A, and we can see our game is downloaded on the emulator. So now we're gonna go over some gameplay demonstration of some of the new games I downloaded for the PlayStation and the Game Boy. So here's Gran Turismo. So we can do the tutorial. We can see it's a little bit laggy, and that's just due to the fact that the Raspberry Pi doesn't have a lot of processing power. It has trouble handling games that are, I guess, quite large in size and require like a higher FPS. But we can see the game works as expected. You can control a car, you can accelerate, whatnot. And we can go back to the menu. Next, we're going to be playing another PlayStation 1 game that I've downloaded called Tekken 3. We can see that this game is quite laggy as well. The final game we're briefly going to go over is called Space Twins, and this is a Game Boy and GameCube game. So this is different from the PlayStation game, and it's a nice bit older, so it should run a lot better. We can see right away that it does run on a lot better. So that's all for today's gameplay. So for the final section of this video, I'm briefly going to go over how the controller will come together for the final product. So we have each part now. We have, this is the back plate. This is the front plate of the controller. We have the Raspberry Pi, which is disconnected. And we have the actual main controller. So once it's all constructed, the final product will look something like this. This still has to be connected and fastened into place on the main PCB of the Xbox controller, but this is just a quick look at what the final product will look like. So overall, in this section of the design process, we got to test some PlayStation and Game Boy and GameCube games, as well as go over how the final Xbox controller design will look like. Some, I guess, thoughts about this whole project so far is that more modern games tend to run quite slow on this Xbox controller Raspberry Pi design, and that's mostly due to the fact that the processing power for the Raspberry Pi isn't high enough to handle these games at like the speed they're desired to be played at. Thank you.